Hello.
This is a great initiative.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I don't want to delay us any longer because this is an amazing panel, and I want to give them all the time that they're going to need to talk through all the amazing ideas they have for you. I hope you've had a chance to get some lunch, catch up with old friends, make some new ones. For the next 2 hours, you can pick your sessions and hear content that is most valuable for you. In this room, we are going to once again focus on Talent Lab, the future of work, recruitment, and human potential in AI. And this is really trying to explore the questions for the AI community with regard to the dual challenges of a global talent shortage and the Great Resignation and all of the implications therein for all members of our workforce. Kicking us off this afternoon, we do have really a very, very special panel discussion around enabling the disenfranchised, no code and accessible AI. Please join me in welcoming the moderator, Angel Bush, founder, Black Women in AI, and she's going to introduce the panel.
Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this wonderful conversation. The first thing we're going to do is have everyone introduce themselves. Michael, we want you to go first.
All right. Ooh, that's loud.
Okay, so I'll go first. I'm Michael Radvani. I'm a baby inclusive entrepreneur. I opened our initiative last year, and the company which I represent is Spectrum Intelligence, and I am the CEO and founder. Any more or afterwards?
That's good, that's good. Amna.
Can you hear me? Okay, so I'm Amna Habiba from Pakistan. I'm a 16-year-old youth activist and the founder of Blooming Foundation.
Excellent, excellent. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. And we have Gina Romero. How are you, Gina?
Hi everyone, this is amazing. Thanks so much for having me remotely. I hope I'm coming through clear. So my name is Gina Romero and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Connected Women. And we help train Filipino women from disadvantaged groups in skills for the artificial intelligence industry.
Well, we have a diverse set of speakers here today, and I'm certainly hopeful that they're going to share information that you're really interested in and that you can connect with. So the first question goes to Gina. Give us some insight and tell us about your company, what your company does, and then tell us your why and the why of your company.
Sure. So my mom was a domestic worker who came from a very small town in the Philippines, a very remote area, and she decided, like many Filipino women, to leave the country and look for opportunities overseas. So she went to the UK, she worked there as household help, and I grew up in the UK and I met so many other Filipino families and Filipino women who had taken the same journey. And fast forward a number of years, I moved to Singapore and I had my own household help in Singapore. And she was also a Filipina and left the country for the very same reason. And it made me question that decades later, this challenge of women having to leave the country to look for opportunities, look for jobs overseas was still very much a problem. So I decided to come back to Connected Women and really look at how we could leverage technology to empower women so that they could find work, find jobs much closer to home without leaving the country or even from their own homes.
Thank you so much. Now, Michael, tell us about your company, the why of your company, and your why as well.
Exactly. I'll start with the why of the company. So, as I mentioned, this is an inclusive company that has impact in technology, social and economy, and how it is done. We have people from the autistic spectrum that are doing high quality activities in the data annotation world, in the AI and data annotation. Why? Because people from the autistic spectrum have very high qualities in specific domains And these specific domains, they have different verticals, but this specific vertical is matching one-to-one the requirement of the activities with actually their highest born skills. What does it mean? They have patience, they are very precise, they have a lot of attention to details, and they don't mind to do a lot of repetitive work. And from this perspective, they do high quality deliverables. And from the other perspective, we are increasing the self-confidence and the pride and other things that actually they lost during their years. If you know, there are about 5 million people diagnosed in Europe by the Parliament, European Parliament, diagnosed with autism, and 90% of them are not working, they are unemployed. So actually, we are trying to give here a platform where people can get their confidence from one perspective, so this is a social impact. From the other perspective, there is technology impact and also economy impact. Hopefully that they will become more independent and more with increased self-confidence and with increased price. So this is the idea behind. Now you're asking my why.
Wow.
Yeah. So all my life, I worked in a totally different direction, also in IT, but in telecom, in mega companies, in high roles, starting from a programmer, but high roles. And this initiative I started, it was triggered actually by my daughter, who was diagnosed not long ago with spectrum, being part of the spectrum. And actually I entered more in this world of the spectrum people, and I saw how wonderful they are, how trustful, how loyal, and how they are excelling in their tasks. So this is my way.
Yes, I love that. That personal story to get to your
That's
mom.
also a personal story, but right here I think that I'm trying to not like in regular companies where the profit, where the income, revenue, EBITDA, these are the things which are measured actually in a regular company. And I think that, and this is what I'm here also, I think the companies should start, although they have in their values
Yes.
social impact, but nobody is measured by them. So if nobody is measured by them, so obviously the person are trying to work on the other values of bringing revenue to their stakeholders
Yeah.
and the profits. So it would be very, very nice if companies will start also to work in diversity and inclusion, and work with companies, also with companies like ours. We are not the only one in the world, obviously.
Yeah.
With companies like ours that actually they can provide impact. So working with a company like ours, actually they are providing impact by this, that we are growing our impact and more people being employed and so on.
Exactly. And it shows the difference. Sometimes we think of diversity in terms of race and gender, but there's also abilities in terms of diversity. So I love that you're bringing that perspective.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Amna, tell us your why and the why of your organization and what you do.
So, I think my organization, the work that I do is just an important part of me. It can't be without me, I can't be without it. And it's mainly because when I started my organization 2 years ago, it stemmed from a really close personal mission to me. So growing up in Pakistan as a young girl, you never have the opportunity to know that you can build a future. Like knowing that I could have a future, that agency to build something so difficult, I think that's when everything started for me. So a bit backstory, not too long, but I'll just summarize it for you. My mom, she grew up with the same struggles that every woman in Pakistan grows up with. You start off studying, drop out, start helping out on your home, and then, eventually get married. That's like the only life goal a girl has. but she was able to break through that struggle and, actually build a career which is not traditionally, accepted by the community. And she wanted to give me a better future. She didn't want me to turn out like how the norm was in my society. And I think when she sort of like, started taking those steps for me, over time I realized how important it is for girls to actually, realize that they can build a future. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, which was a turning point in my life, I discovered that the online world was my getaway from,
Yes.
norms that my society was placing on me. So I started like doing online courses. I did around like 200 plus learning experiences online, and the content, it was amazing, but what really resonated with me was the experience, was the power that I had knowing that I could actually learn things which my community did not want me to learn.
Yes.
So, anything from like learning about coding, learning how to, anything, just literally anything I could do. That was so powerful. And over time, because I had supportive parents who allowed me to do that, I thought of myself as being really privileged because other girls didn't get that privilege. And I wanted to play my part in, replicating what I had gotten in my life for other girls in my community. So in the span of like 5 months, I did all of my courses and stuff. And then with my mom, I started this initiative, which initially was focusing on how we can just let girls know that there is a future instead of just being a housewife, a teacher, or a doctor. You can actually be something else. You can be something that just boys are allowed to be. So, you can go out, you can be anything you wanted to be.
Exactly.
So I think that's, today in today's digital world in more developed countries like, European countries, in the US and all of these developed countries, people think that gender equality has been sort of solved, like people don't face it a lot here.
Yeah.
But in developing countries like where I'm from, where I have actually first-hand experienced the gender inequalities that still exist in today's world. And it might look like the work that I'm doing, it's just really simple.
Yeah.
To the girls that we work with, it matters. Because it takes one opportunity to change everything for them. It was for me. And so the work that we do is we do a variety of events, so anything from hackathons to webinar learning experiences, basically so we can get them to think more about a future outside, the normal tradition.
So what all of you are doing is giving people an opportunity to go beyond dreaming, but to also do and participate in artificial intelligence and what this new economy looks like, what the world looks like, and it's not a local thing. Artificial intelligence, we all know we're here, it's global. And so you guys are opening up those doors. And what I want to do in the time that we have is I want you to tell me of one initiative, just one initiative that you guys are working on. And Michael, I'm going to start with you. One initiative that you can let our audience know about.
Yeah, one interesting project that we have with Amsterdam City, we are working actually with artificial intelligence of Amsterdam City quite close. So from my perspective, it was great because we had to annotate issues on the road for people with problems and capacity problems, like blind people or people with the chairs. So we had to annotate these impairments on the street. So we got images from the different streets from Amsterdam and places, and we needed to annotate it, where are the problems, and we had exactly what it means a problem, what are the problems for each one of the person. For example, a blind person not having a button for, or not having something to press properly in order that the light will change, or somebody with a wheelchair actually not having place in one of the part of the streets to move, or some kind of problem on the road. So again, to annotate different problems on the roads, on the city, in order to make it accessible for people which are having difficulties on walking or other challenges. For me, it was amazing because actually we worked with a population which is far away from labor, And actually we are doing things for the society. So it was
Yes.
such an amazing project for us. It was unbelievable.
That is amazing. Gina, if you can tell us what is one initiative in the time we have left, if you can tell us one initiative that you're working on right now.
So here in the Philippines, we provide labeling services to some of the biggest companies, including banks and telcos. But what I really personally want to focus on is how can we use AI to solve some of the biggest challenges that we're facing in the country. So, unemployment and poverty can be positively impacted, and that's something that we're working on by giving women access to the digital economy. But of course, we also need to increase digital literacy so that more people can get access to digital necessities such as financial services, and even challenges like helping our farmers and fisher folk improve their processes so that they can support a growing population. So I think, for us, it's not just about providing the services, although of course that's very important, and the jobs, but how can we really solve the big problems that we're facing in the country, and how can we be very innovative, but of course focusing on inclusive innovation.
Excellent. Tell us, what is one initiative that you guys are currently working on?
So due to the flood situation in Pakistan, we paused all of our learning experiences, but we are working on this learning experience called STEM Girl, where we've partnered with HP as part of their Girls Save the World Challenge to create a learning experience which is accessible to girls in rural parts of Pakistan, and also expanding globally with it to get more young girls to look at how they can create a career in the STEM field by bringing in female role models, because that's something you usually don't see, looking at someone who looks like you in a field you want to go into. So that's the main goal with that.
So, you all have a number of initiatives happening all at the same time, but tell us, what can those who are listening today, those who are in the audience, what can they do to support your vision, Amna? And talk to the audience. Yes, I'm sure.
Sure.
Yes, talk to the audience.
Apologies for the sore throat, by the way. I was so excited that. But yes, in terms of support, I personally believe that small change steps play a really huge part in, the bigger gender inequality landscape. So you all, no matter where you are working at, whatever job that you're doing, whatever scope it is, there's always something that you can do to help elevate underrepresented communities at your workplace. I would say that just play your part in doing that.
Awesome, awesome. Play your part in helping your cause. Okay, Michael, tell us. And talk to the audience and let them know what they can do today, right now, to help and support your cause.
Yes, thank you. So first of all, to make clear, and I suppose all of us realize the same, we are not a charity company. So although we have a great social impact, we are aiming to prove our qualities and actually to have more projects, and for companies also to understand that if they have in their social values, values like supporting diversity, supporting people that are far away from labor, or they have challenges to integrate in regular jobs or works, so they can come to us and belong with us and provide projects or provide other type of help. And again, I'm not talking, as I mentioned, monetary help or something like this, but to make some kind of partnerships. Now we are also trying, and we are discussing also with TNO for the ones which knows with TNO and with ABN AMRO and other big companies. And again, the idea is actually that, first of all, a company that will work with us or will partner with us, they'll have very, very high delivery quality. We are working also with agile methodology, with people if knows what it is, and we are certified for ISO, for security ISO. So again, we are a real company, a regular company, but which makes a lot of social impact. So if you can work with us or partner with us, it would be great.
Excellent. Now, Gina, tell us what our audience can do today to support your cause.
Well, I really echo a lot of what Michael was saying. If building an ethical and diverse supply chain is important to you, then please reach out to us at Connected Women. We'd really love to partner with you on your data annotation and digital task requirements, while making sure that low-income and disadvantaged but very talented women are able to access opportunities in the technology and AI industry. And I think that there's more than enough work for Michael's company, Connected Women, and for sure others that are also trying to make an impact in this space, especially with the number of huge organizations and big projects that are happening all over the world today and in the future.
Thank you so much. One of the things that I want to say is the way that you can help every organization that is here on the stage, make sure you use your social capital. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, and all of these other social media channels. It certainly helps, YouTube and things of that nature. Make sure you're reaching out and understand the importance of partnerships. Partnerships don't always have to look the same. Here at Black Women in AI, we've been partnered with NVIDIA, we've partnered with Capital One, we partner with Expedia, we partner with a number of companies, and all of these companies do different things. We're very strategic with our partnerships. We're partnered with a staffing agency so that they can teach us what we need to know when we go into these tech interviews and things of that nature. So we want you to think outside the box when you hear the names of these organizations. Don't just think one thing. You can do a number of things, whether that's creating an apprenticeship, whether that's creating a fellowship, whether that's creating opportunities for them to come to your campus and see how you work and the environment and the corporate culture that you've created. So again, when you're supporting these organizations, think outside the box and also understand what your capacity is for change within your own organization. And so I want to thank you guys so much.
Add something.
Yes.
We'll have a great satisfaction in bringing also social impact and not only working on, and again, it can be done together, but you guys will have a great satisfaction. And though I was in charge of projects of hundreds of millions, now I am the most satisfied person in my work. So
Awesome.
you can have also this opportunity.
Yes, yes. You can create different opportunities for different people. Does anyone have any questions before we go? No questions? Yes, sir.
Should I give him my microphone?
Maybe.
I'd like to congratulate all of you for the impact that you are doing in the world. And actually, I have a provocation for the audience. Please, I see that we should do and open our eyes for the barriers that we are creating, even without to realize the minorities there are like in the workplace. So I think that it's very important for all of us to see what kind of barriers, like am I receiving CVs with a good gender balance? Am I assessing the candidates with different demographic ethnicities, ages? Like the diversity is much more than the gender or anything else. Like it's all the uniqueness of each of the individuals in the world. We are all unique. So please, open our eyes for the barriers that we're creating without realizing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for saying that. That's a great observation. Does anyone else have any questions, comments, or concerns? And again, make sure you follow all of us. I am the founder of Black Women in Artificial Intelligence, and you can follow us on Twitter at Black Women in AI, in Facebook, and everything else. We are Black women in AI, and I hope you certainly join us tomorrow as we have that conversation. Do you guys have any questions before we go? No? Oh.
Thank you for your attendance.
To come up, and thank you so much. Thank you, Angel, for leading this incredible panel. Thank you all for being with us today. We really, really appreciate it. Please join me in thanking the panel.
Thank you so much for being here.
Play your part. Partner with us. Use your social capital. Those are the 3 lessons I took away, and I will continue to do so. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to ask you to leave the stage, and